Good evening, YouTube. Welcome in, everybody. Friends, family, loved ones, replay viewers, and all joining in. Thank you so much for coming in to the YouTube broadcast. I'm going to wait for a couple of people to come on in. I'm going to share it out to some of the different platforms that we have. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. I know that the lighting is less than ideal here in this vehicle, but this is all I got to work with tonight. This is all I've got to work with here tonight. But welcome in. We're going to speak about this police shooting that happened Central Time around 5 p.m. in Houston, Texas. So I'm going to give you guys a brief synopsis on what I know about it, and then we're going to go over some discussion. We'll have a little bit of a Q&A in regards to this. Terrible, terrible situation. Hello, Nat. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you, Tracy. Thank you for joining. Sorry about this broadcast from the vehicle, but this is the best that I could do tonight. I'm working, so Tracy, 5 o'clock Houston time, so that's Central Standard Time, I believe. Five Houston police officers and the narcotics were ambushed at a warrant. Now, I, as an NYPD officer, worked in the warrant squad, were ambushed executing some drug warrants. Hi, how are you? Good to see you, Vicky. I agree. This nonsense, this madness has to stop, and it's got to stop right away. It's just a bunch of craziness going on. I'm going to play a couple of clips that I have queued up from this to give you guys a little bit background. I just want to wait for people to invite and share it out. I'm going to do the same thing in a second. I'm going to share it onto Twitter right now. So the video here may pause for a minute while I share it onto Twitter. So just bear with me here. Yes, Nat. Nat, it's unbelievable. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. I've been trying to find updates. A friend is in Houston. He's a policeman. I got a good friend on the ground in Houston that's going to come into this broadcast and perhaps give us some insight. So just bear with me for a second here while I wait for him to arrive. So one of my good friends from Periscope lives in the state of Texas and is well versed on a lot of the details. But I did a little bit of my own research and read a little bit about it. I'm going to play a couple of news clips for you guys so you guys could see what was going on over there. But basically there was a group of narcotics, probably detectives that were going to serve a warrant at a location, and they were met by gunfire, and 5 of them were shot. 2 of them are in critical condition, and the others are stable. They're critical but stable. So, it's a tragic event. Hi, it is Duty Round 52. Hi, Angela. How are you? Good to see you. Ryan, thanks for joining. I saw, hi, Robbie. How are you? Ryan, I saw you try to do some, it is heartbreaking, Tracy. I saw you trying to do some Streamlab testing. It didn't look like it worked out well. Linda, welcome in. I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to come in. Let me invite. It's going to pause for a second, so stand by. Hold on. Just bear with me. I'm going to invite on Twitter. All right, we should be back. Okay, so I'm back. Yes, thank you so much for the prayers for the police officers. So, guys, just in case you don't know, a little bit of background and a backstory on me is, hello, Mr. Frats. How are you, Ed? Ed, I got to call you this week because it's getting close. We got 20 some odd days until I'm going to be coming down there. So I want to try to make a day where we could get together and hang out. Okay, Ryan, no problem. So, guys, a little backstory on me. I'm retired from the New York City Police Department. I worked in the warrant squad. So we served warrants. Hello, Debbie. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Guys, if you can, invite to Facebook, invite to Instagram, invite your followers on different social media platforms if you have it. I greatly appreciate that. Hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. So tonight at about 5 p.m., the narcotics officers from Houston PD were going to serve a warrant at a location, and they were met by gunfire, and 5 of them were struck. 2 are in critical but stable condition, and the other 3 have superficial wounds. I'm not sure of the wounds, the nature of how severe or where they were hit. It doesn't matter. Some animal tried to, and I use that word just because I'm so used to using it. I know animals are kind. Um, some of our animals are kind, friendly creatures that we love and adore. But I'm talking about a savage animal beast, something out of the jungle. Hello, Debbie McCabe. Welcome in. Good to see you, Debbie. I am live. So, hi, Allison. How are you? Good to see you. So, these officers were met by gunfire. They returned fire. I do believe that the perpetrator is DOA. He's shot and killed on the scene. Chalk one up for the good guys, and now there's one less evil on the streets. But it's getting to the point where it is open season on cops, and you and I both know we don't like that. We don't like that kind of stuff. So it's not what America's supposed to be about. So at the end of the day, I'm going to show you guys a quick clip. I'm going to show you guys a quick clip on a news story. It's going to be 2 quick clips that I'll play from the local news, and I'll let you guys hear what's going on a little bit. Gun violence is never going to go away. There's too many guns in America to get them all off the streets, and we're going to always have to deal with this. It's just that we got to come up with a better way. Yeah, it happened 5 p.m. It's just a little bit past midnight here, so it's still Monday in Texas. They're 2 hours behind us, so it's about 10:22. It happened at 5 p.m. Texas time. So it was 7 o'clock New York time. So there you go. Let's. I'm going to take the phone mount off. I'm going to change the. Hold on a second, guys. I'm just going to play a quick clip for you. This is going to be a little bit. Okay. Here we go, guys. Just want you to see this, guys. Just hold on a second. Hello, Fred.
Let me just thank the community. The outpouring of
Listen to
support
this.
has been amazing. It shows why Houston's the greatest city in the world. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who already contacted us to make sure these officers are doing all right. And I want to thank all of our partners at HFD, all the officers out on that scene, who all played a crucial role in getting them down here. And certainly thank you to the medical staff, the world-class medical staff here that are taking care of our officers. But now I want to speak on behalf of the 5,200 brave men and women of the Houston Police Department and the other 800,000 police officers that are working these streets every single day, putting their lives on the line. We are sick and tired of having targets on our back. We are sick and tired of having dirtbags trying to take our lives when all we're trying to do is protect this community and protect our families. Enough is enough. And if you're the ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all, and we're going to make sure that we hold you accountable every time you stir the pot on our police officers. We've had enough, folks. We're out there doing our jobs every day, putting our lives on the line for our families. Enough is enough. Now, please keep these officers in your prayers.
Okay, guys. So this is just this is just a sad reminder of the state of affairs that our country is in, guys. Now that was probably I don't even know who that was speaking, but I'd have to imagine that's probably a police union a representative. Enough's enough. We have targets on the police officers' back. These are the men and women that are out there, as I speak about all the time, who are putting their lives on the line to protect us. These guys were going out to effectively execute search warrants for the arrest of drug dealers, and were met by gunfire. They returned gunfire and killed the suspects, which is wonderful. I thought they shot and killed one, but it sounded like they shot and killed 2. That's 2 less thugs on the street, in my eyes. 2 less thugs on the street. So let me just share this out to the WhatsApp group really quick, guys. I'm going to share this out. I'm sick to my stomach over this. This is just, for me. Every time I hear about stuff like this, it just makes my it makes my blood boil. Uh, I know the hard work that gets done out there on the street. I know what sacrifice has to be made, and I know the feeling of going up to somebody's door and not knowing, hi Deborah, and not knowing if you are going to go home to your family after executing one of these warrants. I've done hundreds of search warrants. I've done hundreds of search warrants in my time. And let me tell you something, it's an uneasy feeling, but it's part of the job and it's what we do. It's an uneasy feeling to risk your life for complete strangers to make communities safe, and all at the risk and at the price of possibly giving up your life for your country. So I say this to each and every one of you: support your local law enforcement, support the men and women that are out there laying their lives on the line for our freedoms, support your military. Anytime you see somebody who has served or who is in uniform, just a simple thank you, goes a long way. And I know most of you guys do that anyways, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, guys, this is not, when we hear about this stuff, Ronbo, when we hear about this stuff, Matt, it makes all the good people like all of us that are in here, it makes our blood boil, man. And I'm telling you right now, like I said, because I've done this job, this very job, these guys were shot and put into intensive care. There's critical but stable, two of them, and the other three are superficial wounds. But these are the very men and women. This is the same job that I did for a long time, So I know what it takes. There you go, Linda. It's not an easy thing to do to go to a cop's funeral. I've been to one too many, through line of duty deaths, through the World Trade Center, through different various scenarios and situations. And let me tell you guys, it's not easy. It's not easy, guys. It is really, really tough. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. I'm assuming Nate is for Natalie. I don't know why, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But it is just for me. I'm just sharing to this group, so that's why I'm not paying attention. Thank you to each and every one of you guys for your support, your kind words, and your unwavered support for your local law enforcement. I thought so. I didn't even know it. I just assumed that. So excellent, Natalie. Thank you so much. One cop's funeral is way too many. I have a nephew who's a deputy sheriff and a U.S. Marshal. He does this stuff, and I worry about him. Think about the wives. Dylan, I was waiting for you to get on the broadcast. Here's my good friend Dylan right there, who is living in Texas. Maybe you can update us on any information that you might have. Can you call into my cell phone, or would you like to call into my cell phone and maybe give any information that you have, Dylan? I'll text you my number if you don't have it. I'll send it to you if you want to call in. I'll put you on speaker and we could talk about what you might know and maybe you could add something to this if you'd like to call in. And guys, I implore each and every one of you to follow my friend Joey right there. Follow Dylan. Follow all the great ones that come on into the broadcast. I'm just sharing out to the rest of my group right now. Let me read up first. Okay, just let me know when you're ready, and then I'd like you to call in with what you're getting local. Basically, to recap, what I have is 5 narcotics detectives went to serve a warrant at a drug location and were met by gunfire. The gunfire was returned, and 2 of the perpetrators were shot. I know 1 confirmed killed, and I think a second, just what I just heard from a report, a second was killed. And if that's the case, then kudos to the return fire police officers on the other end. If it's something different, I want to know about it. Hello, Stella. Good to see you. Angela, thank you so much. It's scary. My husband has been a sheriff deputy and a SWAT team for 20 years. I did 20 plus years, and it's not an easy job to be a wife of a police officer. You sub to both. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much, Fred. Nothing was said on my news stations. It came through on local news here in New York City. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if maybe they're holding back a little bit from you guys up north, but I got it all right here. I have a couple of other. I have a couple of other. I have a couple of other videos that I could show you guys, but I think we covered quite a bit of it. But I'm gonna pull up another video for you guys to see. But it's a reminder, guys. It's a real reminder, the sacrifice that gets made by our men and women of law enforcement. And I had to go live tonight to talk about it because it really was bothering me. It was really bothering me that this kind of stuff is still going on. It's still going on, and it's going on a regular basis, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop. I can honestly say that I've been to hundreds of police funerals and fire funerals, hundreds in my 20 plus years. And that's hundreds too many, guys. Hi, Tabby. Cheesecake Tabby in the building. How are you, Tabby? Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast. I'm almost done with the sharing. Guys. Please bear with me. I'm almost done with the sharing. I'm coming to the end of the shares. There's just so many darn shares that I have here. It's not even funny. I got way too many people to share with. I got to create a group is what I got to do. I'm going to work on that tonight. I'm going to create a group for me to share to. So it's just a one click and done. That's my goal. Those are my goals, guys. And their pay is not good. Exactly. All right, let me get back to the chat so I can pay attention to you guys. I'm almost done here sharing. I got 2, 3, 4 more to go. Stand by. Yeah, I mean, the amount of pay that we receive does not. There's no amount of money. Let me put it to you this way, guys. There's no amount of money that a police officer can get paid to put your life on the line. So, there's no amount of money that we could get paid that would make it worth it. But you gotta really want to do the job. It's something that's built in, and if you don't want to do it, then even if you're making a ton of money, you're not going to do the job. So this is out of love for helping others, helping people, helping your fellow man and woman, wanting to go out there and do the right thing, So, okay, I'm done. So, at the end of the day, this is just so disheartening that, here we are in 2019. Exactly, Fred, but that's not how it goes. Here we are in 2019 talking about more police officers being targeted and being shot, just doing their jobs. Now, narcotics warrants are really dangerous. They are very dangerous because you're dealing with people who have really no morals and no scruples. These are people who just know that they're going to be going to jail, and they're the very most dangerous warrants that are out there, so... It's just this never is easy to speak about. This is never easy to speak about, guys. And like I said, because I've been to one too many funerals. I've been to one too many funerals. It's just not. It's not a great situation and scenario. Yes, agreed, Pink. Agreed. 2019, 8 male officers and 1 female officer and 2 canines killed so far from the odmp.org webpage. Our police in Warwick, Kent, Rhode Island, start at 37,000. Yeah, it's crazy. So, I could tell you in 1996, my partner was shot and killed in a line of duty, and I had to dress his 3 and 6-year-old son the morning of the funeral, and the 6-year-old was putting on daddy's hat, and the wife was so distraught she couldn't even dress her kids. We were assigned to the family for the whole funeral, and it was not anything that was pleasant. It was not pleasant at all. So breaking up. Okay, let me unplug. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's me because I'm watching on my secondary device, and it sounds pretty good to me on my secondary. But yeah, so going through that whole scenario, I know what is involved with these type of situations, and it's horrific, guys. My badge that I carry with me, my badge is the badge number of my partner, 4503, killed in the line of duty March 14th, 1996, Kevin Gillespie. So may he continue to rest in peace. Shot and killed up in the Bronx, um, uh, uh, on patrol. On patrol. So horrible situation. I know what it's about. I know all too well what police funerals are all about, guys, and it's not good. It's not good. It's definitely not good. But in this day and age, we figure in this day and age that things could, should be getting better, and things should be changing, but it's not how it's going. The respect for police are at an all-time low. Our country is in shambles when it comes to law enforcement and our military. We got to have respect and honor for these men and women that fight for our freedoms in our country. No police officers were killed in Houston tonight. Five were shot. Two of them are in critical but stable condition, and the other three have superficial wounds. So, so at the end of the day, thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Sheila. So, I've got a long career in law enforcement. I know what this job entails, and to this day, even though I've been retired for a little bit, when I hear these stories, it just gets my blood boiling, guys. I know exactly what goes on with search warrants. I was in the warrant squad. My squad that I worked in was the warrant squad. Trip team was where I retired out of, but I was in the regular warrant squad where we were banging on people's doors at 4 a.m. to wake them up catch them while they were sleeping. Half of them weren't sleeping anyways. I had people jumping out windows, chasing people, finding people hiding in closets, fighting with people, wrestling people in their mother's bedroom, hiding under beds. You name it, I saw it with my team of warrant squad detectives. We've been shot at. We've been, had bowling balls thrown off of roofs at us. I had an air conditioning unit thrown off a roof at one of us. If it would have hit us, it would have killed us. You name it, rocks, bottles, all different kinds of stuff that we were through. Thank you, Black Rose. I appreciate that. Guys, if you haven't invited on your social media, I ask you, please, if you want to be a good friend to me or help out, give me the thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up on the video. So far, there's no thumbs up. I know you guys will do it at the end, but if you can do it now, that'll be great. Share it out to Twitter or Instagram or Facebook if you have it. Also, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot of great things for you guys with giving you police perspectives. None of them are on life support, Ryan. Two are in critical but stable condition, and the other three are superficial. Thank God. Thank God. So when the first reports came out, it didn't sound good, but it seems like all involved are going to make it. All involved are going to make it, barring any kind of problems. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much for thanking me. I appreciate that. And Black Rose, thank you for putting up the subscribe channel. Joey, I saw your Instagram. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate that. So, guys, it's important that we all realize that, you know, if you see something, say something. If there's something going on in your community, report it to the police. If there's something going on that's not safe for the police, let them know about it. They'll never find fault in any of you guys if you report something that you think is silly. It may be important to the police. So if you see something going on that doesn't seem right in the community, please go and notify your police. I was walking in the park today with my shepherd, came up some teens during school hours. We sort of surprised them and they saw them stopping something out. I think it was pot, but they were nervous. Yeah, yeah. Crazy, right? Crazy. So, um, you know, there's a lot of things that go on. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. I appreciate that. I shared to Instagram and Twitter. I also shared to my WhatsApp group. I have about 400 members in my WhatsApp group. I shared to that, and I can also share to Snapchat. I can stand a chat Snapchat too. Um, so yeah, if you see something, say something, Sheila, and that's what I'm saying. If something seems not right, if there's some type of criminal activities, or if you see somebody selling drugs, or if you see people coming and going in your neighborhood or anywhere, just report it. You could do it anonymously. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your name. You could just, you could just make the report. You could just, make an anonymous call. So. Again, guys, when I see stuff like this go down, it just boils my blood. It boils my blood. Thank you so much, Angela. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. We got 29 people in on the group here. I appreciate you guys all hanging out and positively interacting. Stella, thank you for putting out the message. If you like Duty Ron, please hit the like. Thank you so much for that. Um, Guys, I also have I have a PayPal link if anybody's interested in donating to help further make this channel grow. I think Trevor is probably the only one that has a copy of that link, and I don't think he's in here. But when I start streaming from my Streamlabs account, that's going to be available, and my super chat should be activated shortly. So when we start going over some of our cases, the Vetrano case that I spoke about, the jogger from New York. The trial is going to start happening, I think, March 12th, I believe it was. So as soon as that trial starts to go off, I'm going to be giving daily updates on the progress of the trial. I'm going to try to give daily updates, like a Monday through Friday kind of thing, because obviously the courts aren't in play on the weekends, and that's when I spend most of my time with my wife. So the weekends are kind of precious for me. Those are the times when I won't really be going live with good content. I'll go live with just stuff, just my everyday life stuff. But Monday through Friday, while the Vetrano the second trial is on, I will be going live giving updates for you guys, and we'll follow that case closely. And I may even, guys, and this is something that it'll be an exclusive for me. I may even be able to go into the courtroom. I won't be able to record, obviously, but I may be able to go into the courtroom with my credentials and my ID and actually hear the trial live and be in the audience, because I know all the court officers in Queens County. I used to be in and out of that building all the time. Hi, Terry. So during that trial, I may go down to the courthouse in Supreme Court and ID myself and get myself a seat right into the courtroom. So that might be an awesome thing for me to do and to get some insight into the questioning and how the trial goes on. So I may spend maybe a day or two at the courthouse and get into the courtroom and catch the morning session and maybe an afternoon session one time. So that should be some cool stuff that I will be able to get myself into. And then I could take notes and I could keep mental notes about what goes on, and then we could speak about it. So can't do a live, Stella, from inside there. I might be able to get away with an audio, but it's going to be, from in my pocket. So I wouldn't even chance that, because it's a professional environment, so I wouldn't, you're not supposed to have recording devices in the courtroom. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't chance it, but I would definitely go in there and I could give you guys an insight on what I was hearing, and you can get it secondhand from me. But that's going to be like direct link into the questioning. I can hear the prosecution question and the defense. That would be That'd be really awesome. So I can give you a complete update, a recap of the trial. Hi, Cecilia. Good to see you. Black Rose, that is cool. So, what I do at work, I see customers first before anyone at my workplace. My local PD backs me up every time. Last thing I want are bullets flying in a supermarket parking lot. Ryan, I couldn't agree with you more. So that's great that you have that relationship with your police and the community. Guys, if you're not following my good friend Joey, right there, Joey in the chat, please give him a follow. Hello, Pugs. Good to see you. Just giving us the 411 after is plenty appreciated. There you go. And Angela, that's a direct link inside the courtroom where I can get and give you my perspective of some of the questioning and what the defense is going, what the defense is trying to do, and what the prosecution is putting forward. I'll get, maybe some opening statements, and I'll see what goes on. I want to try to get there the very first day that the trial opens up, because that's when they give the defense and the prosecution gives both of their they go at it and present their case to the jury. So that first day, although it will probably be a packed courtroom, if I get there early enough with my credentials, I should be able to get in there. That day will be unbelievable because I will be able to hear both sides, and that will be awesome. So I'm gonna try my best to do that. So Terry, thank you for subscribing to my friend Joey. Everybody that's in here, if you're not subscribed to Joey, if you want to do me a favor, please subscribe. And I want to say this, before I get off topic, I want to say this, guys. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I have gotten like 90,000 viewed minutes. You guys are phenomenal. Whoever's doing it, you guys are doing it collectively as a team. All my subs, all my friends, the subscribers who subscribed have been watching my replays like in their entirety because I have 92,000 minutes worth of views. That's a ton of hours of people watching. 92,000 minutes. So you guys did an unbelievable job in like 5 days. So thank you so much for that. PED, HPD update. Our officers... one officer shot in the shoulder has been released. Second officer in critical. 2 officers in critical, and 1 of 2 are still in the hospital. Thank you for subscribing to Joey. And there's my link. If you're not subscribed to me already, I'm assuming that most people that are in here are subscribed. Please let your friends know. Talk it up when I'm in. Hey, listen, I called into Oni's True Crime and Gossip tonight. I was on my way here to my office. I am working an executive protection detail tonight, so I am on duty. I do have my firearm with me. I do have my pistola. I am working right now. So, good morning, Jess from Beirut. Good to see you. But I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for continuing to watch my videos. If you haven't watched my replays, pick 1 or 2 of my longer videos, put it on play, and then put your phone down and go about your business. If you can do that, or an iPad or secondary device, you'll greatly help me get to the 240,000 minutes that I need to monetize this channel. I'm this close. I think I'm at 142,000 out of 242. So I got 100,000 more minutes of watched video that needs to be done. So my last check on my analytics, I'm gonna do it right now, real time with you guys, just to give you guys a kudos and say thank you to each and every one of you. Here's my analytics page. I got 142,000 watched minutes. I need 242,000. So we're almost there. 142,767 watched minutes and 1,450 subscribers. So thank you, each and every one of you guys who have subscribed. You put a headset on. Okay, awesome. I auto replayed them. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that, brother. That helped. And I'm saying thank you. I'm saying thank you to each and every one of you who has helped me out with the views. I mean, I put a plea out to everybody. I pleaded to everybody to please help me. And you guys you did an awesome job. Pugs and everybody. Tabitha, thank you so much. I feel that if we keep up, I don't know how we can humanly possible keep up with that pace, but you guys have been tremendous. Dylan, do you want to call in? If you don't want to call in, I understand. It's okay. But if you want to call in with anything that you got locally, you know, it doesn't have to be a long conversation. But I value your input, and I value what you have. Your Dylan lives like in Round Rock, Texas, which is out in southern part of Texas. So Dylan has got a lot of great connections, and he listens to a lot of the police scanners and stuff like that. So it's awesome. Will you come and find my cell phone? Why don't you call it and see what happens? You'll hit those numbers soon. Thank you, Terry. We'll see what happens. I'm in no rush, but I just have to say that I am unbelievably taken back by how quickly we got there. You guys are awesome. So thank you for that. Really, really cool. So let me see. Houston is 3 hours away from me. I don't really have anything new. Okay, no problem. It's okay. Your battery's dead. Well, then you're a shit out of luck, Pugs. Good. Just do a grid search. Start from the beginning and go to the end. Just backtrack. You got to do some backtracking. Do some backtracking. 2 suspects dead. 2 bad guys dead. Thank God. Not sure about the third. Okay, good. As long as they're in custody. I think Dylan stepped out to reboot his laptop. He's back in here. He's back in here. Thank you so much for those links put up. I appreciate that. How can I share onto my Twitter? If you're on an iPhone, tap the screen and there should be a share. Actually, iPhone's 3 dots at the bottom. If you're watching in landscape, it's 3 dots on the bottom, and then it shows you to a share, and then you select the place where you want to share it. If you're on an Android, I could demonstrate. Android is like here. You just tap the screen, and then you hit this button right here. You tap the screen, and you hit the share, the little arrow right there, and then it brings up all your shares. So if you have Android, you tap the screen, and you tap, and then it opens up all the share. All right, so let me just pull up one more thing here on the Houston. There's another case that's unbelievable, guys. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there was an officer who. Hello, Lacey. Good to see you. Thank you for joining, Lacey. Thank you so much for joining. Hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Hey, Michelle, how are you guys? How are you, Michelle? Great to see you. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. All right, here we go. I'm going to play this little clip for you guys real quick, and then I'll put it back on the stand.
Preparation. 18 officers were here, both patrol and drug officers, to serve a warrant right there where that home is lit up. Tonight, that big light is illuminating the scene.
Honestly, it was so many, I couldn't even remember.
So many gunshots in succession.
The first time it had to be like 5. The second time it had to be another 5. It was like rounds, honestly. It was like rounds. The last one was 3.
Jasmine Castro took cover with her 2-year-old while dispatchers relayed the terrible news. Before HPD SWAT officers responded to the scene on Harding, 18 officers were here to serve a warrant on a suspected drug house. Tips from neighbors about drug activity led them here. According to the Houston police chief, it was in the 4 o'clock hour. The chief says the officers announced themselves at the front door, and then things went bad.
Immediately upon reaching the door, the officers came under fire from 1 or 2 suspects inside the house. We're not sure how many of the suspects fired at this time. As you can imagine, it was a pretty chaotic scene over there, and the investigation's unfolding.
4 officers were shot, 1 was injured. Neighbors watched from their houses. Some recorded video. In an exchange of gunfire, police killed 2 people inside inside the house. The chief rushed to the scene. It was a scene for hours until officers determined there was no further threat. Fellow police officers and residents watched in disbelief of what just happened.
They were doing their duty, their job. So, I mean, we people that appreciate that job. So, and I think it's sad. It's pretty bad.
And residents out here certainly appreciate the job that Houston police have done. Harding Street still blocked off tonight. The investigation now into exactly what happened and why begins. Houston police have not released the suspects' names.
Okay, guys. So, I mean, that gives you a synopsis of what these guys were up against. I mean, these guys were up against immediate gunfire. Let me just say hello to the people who have joined. Hello, Dave in Osaka. Hello, Black Eagle. Thank you so much for coming in. So, these reports are an officer's worst nightmare, a family's worst nightmare, a community's worst nightmare. So there were, it was a drug warrant, unknown, Dave, how many were in the house, but a total of 2 perpetrators, 2 bad guys were shot and killed, and a 3rd injured. So there may have been 3 to 5, 10, we don't know. I know when I personally used to do warrants, I did this type of job. 2 of them are in critical but stable condition, and then the other 3 superficial. I think some of them have been released already. 1 or 2 of the officers have been released, probably with graze wounds. But 2 police officers are in critical but stable condition. But these drug warrants, they're very uneasy because you don't know how many people are going to be in the location. You get advanced intel. Most of these warrants are created by confidential informants. So police get confidential informants that give good information to obtain these drug warrants from the courts. A judge has to issue these warrants. So the police go in there with as much knowledge as they have possible in front of them. Sometimes that information isn't as good as it should be. Sometimes it's spot on. So you never know what you're going to go into when you get into this location. We draw out maps. We draw up the interior location, but sometimes you don't have that. You're not afforded that. So who knows what the scenario? Who knows what the scenario was that they met with? But the bottom line is they converged onto the scene, and they were met by immediate gunfire. So they were met by immediate gunfire when they came onto the scene. So as the narcotics, the warrant officers were going in there, they were met by gunfire, and an exchange of gunfire, ensued, and it was quite a few rounds that were fired, according to the reports. So I'm happy that the bad guys were hit, and at the same time, unfortunately, we have some casualties of war here, the war on drugs, the war on crime. So it is not a good day for law enforcement. However, thank God none of the police were killed involved. And, the 2 that are in critical but stable condition, they're not out of the woods yet. So we're going to pray and hope that they will make a full recovery and get out to their families and their loved ones. And we got to give thanks and praise. I talk about this constantly on my Periscope. Michelle, thank you for coming in. All you people who know me from Periscope, Dave in Osaka, Joey, Black Irish, Dylan, many of you who know me from Periscope, I've been speaking about this for over a year, about supporting the law enforcement and the dangers of the job, because I know, I've done it. I know what the job entails. I know how dangerous it is and how uneasy of a feeling it is when you're going into a location and you don't know what's behind the door. But anyways, guys, I want to just let you know, if Dave in Osaka is still here, please follow my good friend. There he is right there. Dave in Osaka. He's in Osaka, Japan right there. That's the account. Please, somebody put that up. Follow that account. He's a great friend of all of ours. Dave in Osaka brings unbelievable content from all over the world. He actually is the first person that I've ever known of that has gone into North Korea and did broadcasts from inside North Korea. So this guy is a phenom when it comes to broadcasting professionally on YouTube. He's got a great channel. Thank you, Renee, for the prayers. Somebody could please put that up. One of my friends, please put up. There he is, right there. Copy and paste that. Please, everybody, follow Dave in Osaka, a wonderful YouTube community member. You guys can't go wrong with Dave in Osaka. I'm telling you. Ryan also, Portsline. He's a great guy. He knows a lot about a lot of things. He's another one to follow. Thank you, Black Eagle. If somebody could put that up in the chat, I greatly would appreciate it. Stella, thank you so much. Code 3, run into structures. There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle, for following Dave in Osaka and my good friend Joey. I subscribe to everybody that comes in on my channel. That's one of my new things that I do as a way of saying thanks. Anybody that subscribes to me, I always subscribe back. Thank you so much, Dutch. Appreciate that, my brother. There's another great one to subscribe to. I know a lot of my friends have gone over to Dutch Maz and caught some of his stuff, and you can't go wrong. I've gotten a lot of compliments, Dutch, on your broadcast privately, so excellent. And there's Joey. If anybody's in here that could do a copy and a paste to follow Dave in Osaka and the rest of the crew, I'd greatly appreciate that. I have another little bit of a news clip. I can't see it on my phone. Gotcha, Black Rose. No problem. I got you. I understand. Usually I have Winky in here, but I guess Winky is Winky's somewhere else. Probably watching Oni or whatever. But always, these are great recommendations. I really don't steer people in the wrong direction when it comes to this stuff. I try to put out and recommend the people who I watch. These are guys that I watch and that put out great stuff. I've learned from these guys. I learned from the best. Ron, it's Andrea. Andrea, would you be able to put up and paste Dave in Osaka's YouTube for everyone to follow? I greatly appreciate that. I know you could do that good too. If you could put that up, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. There it is. Bam. Thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate that. Hey, Ron, are you completely retired? Yes, I am. I am completely retired. Sheila says, let me go back. Sheila says, I called family of a fallen officer to let them know that the city was dipping into a fundraiser. So channel, I gave it to the family and got a hold of their son, an attorney. Excellent. That's great work. Thank you for doing that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Renee, for the link. There it is, Dave in Osaka. You guys, I'm guaranteeing you won't go wrong. Not to put any pressure on Dave, because pressure doesn't mean anything for him. So Dave in Osaka is a definite go. Thank you so much, Dutch. I appreciate that. Coming from, now these are guys who are professional YouTubers. I learned everything that I know from this guy, Dutch, and Dave in Osaka, Joey from Brooklyn. These guys taught me how to live stream. Like, I had it already built into me, but they fine-tuned and they continue to give me tips on how to become a better broadcaster. So these are guys who know how to do it. They're friendly, they're respectful, and they are welcoming. So you can't go wrong in these guys' broadcasts. And what I like about these guys is they follow my kind of protection. They protect the people that are in their broadcast. If they see something that's not right, which not really much of that happens here, they take action on it. So those are the kind of guys that I like to pal out with. Those are the kind of people I like to surround myself with. Broadcasters that are concerned about their viewership. And that's how I operate on Periscope, on YouTube, on any platform where I go live. I look out for the people because that's just my nature. That's how I am. I'm not going to allow anybody to disrespect or come in and carry on like jagaloons. Jagaloons, if you want to look it up, are adults that act like children. I don't allow that. I don't allow it at all. Dave in Osaka inspired Joey 3 years ago to go live. How about them apples? Look at Kathy. Look at my adorable friend, Kathy. She's in the building. Good to see you, Kat. Thank you for joining. All right, here's one more thing I want to talk to you about. So there was a report. Dylan, you can help me out on this. There was a report of bad intel before the raid. I don't know, Amir. I don't know. It's too early to even speculate on that. But anything can go wrong at any time. Hello, Jay. Good to see you, Jay. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you, my friend. Let me see what Matt said that everybody's laughing at. Jagaloon free zone, yes. Stella, Stella Bella. I'm glad you enjoyed that. The warrant was a knock and talk, so it wasn't a no knock. Let me tell you. Let me give you a quick description on warrants. Okay, there's a no knock that you can 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No knock search warrant. That's where you're banging in the door. Police, everybody on the ground, bang, bang. You just go right in. They'll throw some stun grenades. Then there's a knock warrant. Thank you for putting that up, Renee. There's Dutch. There's Dutch Maz. Guys, everybody click on that link and subscribe if you can for me right now. I appreciate that. There's the no knock, and then there's the knock. The knock is the lighter of the two, obviously. What you do with the knock is that you knock and you identify yourself. Houston police, we have a search warrant. Can you open the door? If the person doesn't want to open the door, there's signage in there. Thank you so much, Black Rose, for that. There's signage on this search warrant whether you can enter after a knock and a refusal, and some of them are you have to get approval. But most search warrants are a search warrant. If you knock and ask to gain entrance, it's supposed to be for the lower level crimes. Now, this could have been a drug warrant for marijuana. It could have been a drug warrant for who knows. But I don't know of many drug warrants here in New York where it's not a no-knock. Every drug warrant that I've ever executed have been a no-knock, and any time of day. Any time of day. You could just go 2 o'clock in the morning. You can go anytime and surprise them. And we used to do it in the middle of the night. Surprise, element of surprise is important here. So, and we went in with the most resources. We have the greatest emergency service unit, our emergency service A team. They called it the A as an Apple team. The A team is what did all of our entrances, all of our search warrant executions. So they were phenomenal. We actually lost two of the members of the A team in September 11th. Sergeant Rodney Gillis and another detective from the A team. So we lost two of our A team members on September 11th. Two guys that I personally would work with on a regular basis were killed in the World Trade Center attack on September 11th, 2001. So may they rest in peace. Sergeant Rodney Gillis, and the other gentleman was I wasn't really too familiar with him because he worked in a different squad, but he too was killed in the line of duty on that day. Joe Vigiano was another detective from the A team ESU in another squad. Was doing the emergency, was doing the ESU search warrant entries. That's all they did. There's an emergency services squad that just does entries on search warrants. So who knows what Houston was doing, but it's just another day in law enforcement. So you guys got to realize another day, another routine day in a law enforcement, police, female, male, another routine day for these people. And here we are, this is just happening way too often, and I'm hearing about this way too much. So your son was in college becoming a firefighter on 9/11. We all cried. I think all of the world and definitely all of America cried on 9/11. We were all shook. We were shook to the core on that day. I don't think anybody is the same after that. It's something that I would have never, ever thought in a million years would ever happen. Both the towers of the World Trade Center coming down. Never, ever in my lifetime would I have ever thought that would happen. Really, guys. And I was standing right there when Tower 2 collapsed. I was right there. And then worked on that pile with pieces of debris falling off the surrounding buildings. It was surreal. It was like I was in the Twilight Zone. Like for 2 days, I walked around like a zombie at that place. It was unbelievable. There's like nothing, I cannot even describe how screwy that was, how crazy that was. So, thank you, Andrea. Ron, it's Andrea. Ron, get it right. Do you want to snap me, Andrea? Ron, Andrea, do you want to snap me that so I could play it again? Thank you, Cookie Hill. Thank you so much for that. So, again, here's another instance of really, a situation. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. Kathy Cecilian Temper, a great friend of police and law enforcement community here in Brooklyn, New York. Kathy is Joey's better half, and she is unbelievable. What a great supporter of police and the NYPD. She does everything and anything that she can, along with her husband. Black Eagle says, Ron, my ex-husband is Pakistani. He was detained after 9/11. I'd love to talk to you in private sometime. I'll be open to speak to you about that. There was tons of people who were detained just based on their religion and their origin of where they came from. The country is under attack, and there was a lot of things going on. I'd be more than happy to speak to you about it privately. Definitely not here. This is not the place. Follow me, guys, on Instagram and Twitter at DutyRon, and you can also follow me on Periscope if you'd like at DutyRon, and more importantly, subscribe to me here at DutyRon52. Retired New York City police detective, 20 plus years serving the greatest detectives in the world, the NYPD, the greatest police department in the world. Phenomenal men and women who I served with over a course of 2 decades, and it was a career that is just, I can't even describe to you the amount of pride and joy that I have from my service. I mean, I emulate it every time I go live. I talk about it till I'm blue in the face, because I'm blue through and through. I am, a 1,000% law enforcement military supporter. I know what the sacrifices are with people who choose this type of career, and I know about the braveness and the honor of what we do on a day in and day out, 24/7 while you're sleeping, 365 days a year. You got your law enforcement out there. Thank you so much. You too, Black Eagle. Thank you for your participation. I appreciate it. Druggies, I'm scared for my local officers. Cookie, it's not anything that they will shy away from. No police officers will shy away from any jagaloons. They'll always go at them. Hoorah! Thank you, Jay, for the blue hearts. Appreciate that. So, guys, anybody have any questions? I'll open it up for a question and answer. At this time, we're 60 minutes. This is a 1-hour broadcast. I like to keep them about a little bit under an hour and a half, so I may go for another 20 minutes. So if there's any questions, throw them up in the chat, and I will address any questions. Q&A time with Duty Ron. Don't hit me with them all at once. Kathy sending up emojis. I've mentioned before, my son is a law enforcement. Jay, thank him for his service. May he continue to stay safe, and may St. Michael's look over him at all times. Black Eagle is laughing out loud. Cookie Hill is saying thank you. Are you on Facebook? I was on Facebook until the other night, and I deactivated my account. But I am on Facebook at Duty Ron. Thank you so much for that kind words. Hoorah, says Ryan. Sheila, officers are awesome. You know, guys, I talk about this all the time. There's good and bad officers out there, but there's more good than bad. That's 1,000% true. I know this from experience. More good than bad. Thank you for following me on Instagram, Angela. I'll follow you back. No problem. Just tagged you in a presser from Houston. Okay, let me look at it on Twitter. Hold on a second.
All 5 of the officers injured in this and spoken with their colleagues. For one of them, this is not the first time he's been shot in the line of duty. The Southeast Houston neighborhood turned into a war zone for officers serving a narcotics warrant. Former Officer Thomas Nixon says that's one of the most dangerous operations they take on.
There are literally no rules with drug dealers, and they're willing to...
Okay, I'm going to replay this. This is only 1 minute and 42 seconds.
The medical center is flooded with officers here to support their fellow officers along with their family members.
I'm going to play this, guys. I'm going to play this for you. Hold on a second. It's only 1 minute and 42 seconds.
On 13's Live at 5.
You community seem to come together like police officers in moments like these. The medical center is flooded with officers here to support their fellow officers along with their family members. We've identified all 5 of the officers injured in this and spoken with their colleagues.
Give me a minute, Sue.
Incredibly, for one of them, this is not the first time he's been shot in the line of duty. The Southeast Houston neighborhood turned into a war zone for officers serving a narcotics warrant. Former Officer Thomas Nixon says that's one of the most dangerous operations they take on.
There are literally no rules with drug dealers, and they're willing to kill police officers. And when you're dealing with people like that, it's very unpredictable and often very violent.
ABC 13 has confirmed the names of all of the officers injured, but we aren't naming them because they work undercover. We've learned the 2 officers who are in critical condition were injured in the face or neck. One is 50 years old with 25 years on the force. Nixon served with him in the military before joining HPD.
We're all praying for him and hope he makes it through this.
The other is 54 with 34 years on the force.
Wow.
Got wounded pretty badly as well. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time he's been shot in the line of duty.
Second or third time shot.
Returned to duty quickly after being shot before.
He's a very tough-minded individual, and he's always willing to go hard charging at the criminals. Even when he gets hit in the line of duty, he won't stop.
All of them, Nixon says, are people the city should be grateful for.
We should all be thankful that we have a police department with men like this on it who are willing to go the distance and put their lives at risk for the community.
Wow, guys. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So that police officer, sorry about that, guys. So 34-year veteran, 54 years old. That's how old I am. The guy's 34 years on the job and shot 3 or 4 times in the line of duty. Served his country in the military and is still 34 years. Dutch, thank you for that kind words. I was just in the middle of that. But Dutch, thank you. Coming from you, that means a lot. So thank you so much for that. I have to tell you guys, 34 years of service. Unbelievable. The guy's shot 3 or 4 times in the line of duty in the past. And he's still a tough military guy, man. I mean, 54 years old. He's my age and still going at it. So kudos to him, man. That's what brave is all about right there, guys. Let me go see what Dylan sent me on Twitter. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel. I'm almost up to 1,500 subscribers thanks to all the support from my friends like you. So thank you so much. What a tough son of a bitch. I agree. Shot several times in the line of duty and still goes back to it. That is a brave soul right there. I mean, that guy has balls of steel, and that's the best way to put it. That is a brave, brave human being right there. Balls of steel. Okay, here's Duty Blue's crew. This is Duty Blue, Dylan's. This is Dylan's crew at the park today. These are his dogs out there. Okay, I'm looking for what you sent me, Dylan. Didn't you say you sent me? Okay, I don't see anything. Did you send it somewhere else still? So anyways, so that was Dylan's dogs at the park today. So guys, again, you know, it's just a testament of, and here's somebody that we would have never heard about if he didn't get involved in the shooting here today. Hi, Dimitri, Dimitrin, thank you for joining. If this didn't happen today, we would never hear about this guy. He would just be going about his business. 34 years. Your brother-in-law is a retired police officer. They have Shepherd named Bullet. Wow. We wouldn't have heard about this guy. He just wouldn't have been going about his business. He's been a cop for 34 years. But because of what happened tonight, we're hearing about this. You know how many hundreds, thousands? There's 800,000 police in America. There's 800,000. Let that sink in. 800,000 men and women who every day go to work and put their lives on the line for us. 800,000. So he's one of 800,000 brave men and women that go out there. I, too, was a part of that when I worked. Now I now made it to the finish line, and I'm here to tell you guys, I'm giving you my perspective as a New York City retired detective, how difficult the job is, how thankless the job is, because we're not going to people when they're at their best. We're going at people when the shit hits the fan. And you guys know what I'm talking about. When you call 911, you're not calling 911 to say, hey, I'm having a party. You want to come on over? We're cutting the cake and we're serving the coffee. That doesn't happen. We're not getting the call to come over for cake and coffee. We're getting the call when the shit hits the fan. And we are taxed with coming and playing social worker, playing marriage counselor, playing family counselor, playing putting handcuffs on someone and taking them to jail. It's not an easy job, and it happens so fast. Things happen so quick. So, again, my channel is not going to be 24/7 this type of broadcasting, because I do bring you a lot of great variety. I go out to some of the parks. I talk about everyday stuff. You see me with my wife. You see me with a lot of, doing a lot of regular everyday stuff. What's the state with the largest police force? New York. NYPD is the largest police department in the world. The department that I work for, Dave, New York City, has 40,000 police officers. The numbers are probably somewhere around 38. It fluctuates between 38 and 40,000. So NYPD, hands down, I know this for a fact, is the largest municipal police department in the world. Not in the United States, in the world. We have the most. Our police department is larger than the Italian military. We have more police officers than Italy in their whole military, the whole country. So it is the finest. It isn't flawless. It has its ups and downs. We are not perfect. We're not machines. We're not robots. We're human beings, and mistakes happen. But overall, they do a great job with what they're taxed with. And Dutch Maz and Joey from Brooklyn know better than anybody how many people and how vast of the 5 boroughs are, how much real estate is covered by the New York City Police Department. It's a lot of coverage. But when the shit hits the fan, you can know that you're going to have a couple of hundred cops mobilized in a matter of 15, 20 minutes. It can happen quicker than that. You can have 300 to 500 cops assembled in less than 15 minutes. Hands down. I know it for a fact. We could call a mobilization and have a couple of hundred cops in under 15 minutes. So, you're welcome. Yes, it's in the world. The NYPD is the largest police department in the world. And I was taught that when I went in the police academy. It was one of the first things that we were taught. And it was about a matter of pride and respect. And that was part of our orientation when we first started, that you're representing the greatest police department in the world. So when you put the uniform on of the NYPD, you're representing the greatest police department in the world. So, there it is, guys. I don't know how that's coming across, but I'm proud to have this in my wallet. I am proud to have this ID card, retired detective of the NYPD. It gives me great honor and pleasure to have this card in my possession. Awesome. I didn't have many. I had probably a half a dozen, probably about six partners. I had probably about 6. Enough that I can count them on 1 or 2 hands. So around 6. EW Los Angeles 2nd. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I missed a comment. I'll scroll back. Now you have a message. It's the Houston PD president. Okay. I think I played that already. That's where he was saying that he was sick of the cops. Let me see. I'll tell you if I saw this. Yeah. So this was the guy. I was right. I just guessed. Who was here from the beginning of this broadcast? Remember, I played the presser of the guy speaking about that he was sick and disgusted. Guys, I played this presser. Hold on a second. 800,000 doesn't seem like enough officers needed. Sue, you can never get enough, right?
I want to speak on behalf of the 5,200 brave men and women of the Houston Police Department and the other 800,000 police officers that are working these streets every single day, putting their lives on the
So
line.
I played
We are
this.
sick and tired of having targets on our back. We are sick and tired of having dirtbags trying to take our lives when all we're trying to do is protect this community and protect our families. Enough is enough.
Yeah,
And to
Los
the ones
Angeles
that
is
are out
second.
there spreading the rhetoric that police
I
officers
said
are
it was the
enemy,
union
well, just
president.
know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all, and we're going to make sure that we hold you accountable every time you stir the...
This guy was awesome, but I knew by just the way he was talking that he was a union guy. Joey, you were here when I said that, right? As soon as I heard this presser, when I heard him talking, I knew that was a union guy. I don't know who was here for that, but I just said, I'm going to guess at this. And sure enough, I was right. So that just comes through experience. When he used that kind of rhetoric, I knew he couldn't have been the mayor. I knew he couldn't have been a politician, because politicians don't use that kind of language, because they're a bunch of fake phonies and frauds. So politicians wouldn't speak like that because they have to be politically correct. So it's a bunch of bullshit. But I knew when I heard this guy talking that it was a union guy, and it happens to be the president of the union, president of the HPD, guaranteed. So good stuff on that front. I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play it again so you guys can see. Vicky, you heard me say it, right? Yeah. So I got to tell you, man, this kind of stuff it's sickening. It's just sickening. And let me just cue it up so you guys can see it one more time before we end this broadcast. I'm gonna fire it up, courtesy of Dylan. Here we go.
It's an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrencies, all commission-free. Getting started is easy, and you can...
But now I want to speak on behalf of the 5,200 brave men and women of the Houston Police Department and the other 800,000 police officers that are working these streets every single day, putting their lives on the line. We are sick and tired of having targets on our back. We are sick and tired of having dirtbags trying to take our lives when all we're trying to do is protect this community and protect our families. Enough is enough.
His voice
And
is
to the
crackling.
ones that are out there spreading the rhetoric that police officers are the enemy, well, just know we've all got your number now. We're going to be keeping track of all of y'all, and we're going to make sure that we hold you accountable every time you stir the pot on our police officers. We've had enough, folks. We're out there doing our jobs every day, putting our lives on the line for our families. Enough is enough.
That was awesome. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for your input here. Greatly appreciated. What was the best reward personally for you? Well, I speak about this often, and it's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. Taking on the job of a police officer, you got to want to help people. And if you don't want to help people, because we certainly don't go into the profession for the money. We certainly don't go in it for the money. We definitely go into it for security, for the pension, for benefits for our family, to support our family, but we don't go in it to become rich. So you got to first and foremost want to help people, and that I did, and that I continue to do in my retirement. But what I really got the most reward out of is helping people, and I saved a 16-year-old girl from committing suicide on the top of a building, was going to jump, and I got the call as a patrolman. I saved her. I talked her off of the ledge. before emergency services can get there. I saved her, and she went on to thank me, and her family thanked me. Made a dinner for me at the parents made a dinner for me at home, and she went on to later in life have a family, get married, and came to the precinct and said she was naming her child after me. Now, I lost track of her and I lost contact with her. I don't know where she went or moved to. She was from a Spanish family, and we just grew apart. But that was one of the most rewarding things that I did as a police officer. I was never shot, but I was shot at 3 different times, 3 separate incidents of gunfire in my career. Thankfully, I was never shot and never hit. So, but yeah, that's people ask me that often, like, what is your most rewarding part about your job? And there was many other things that I could speak about, like delivering babies. Delivering babies happened to me a handful of times. And those are also rewarding parts about being a police officer. So thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. But saving that girl's life, and she was a very good-looking young kid. She was a kid. And I didn't think that she was going to, turn out okay, because she had a lot of problems. She had a lot of mental issues. She had a lot of, a lot of things that are up, a lot of obstacles up against her. She was living in the projects in a poverty-stricken area. Family, didn't have much money. She was depressed. And I kept following up with her for quite a few years, until she was, it was probably about a good year and a half, 2 years. She turned 18, and then she moved out away from her family, and she had her boyfriend, and she had gotten pregnant. And then she moved to a different borough. I was in Brooklyn. She moved to Queens. And then when she was pregnant, she came back to visit her family and told me about she was going to name the baby after me. It was going to be a boy. And I thought it was awesome. But then after that, I lost track of her. I would love to, if she was to come and contact me through social media, I would be more than happy to even, to celebrate with her. And I'd love to see her son, So that would be something really cool if that was to ever happen. But I'm not going to go searching for her. I know her name, but I'm not that type to do that. I wouldn't go and search for her. That's creepy. So I just leave it alone. This was part of the job. It was one of the parts of the job that you just did, and it was what you got paid for. We're paid to uphold the laws of the land and to protect and serve. So yeah, Marcy, that would be cool. It would be. I also saved a fellow off-duty police officer. I was on patrol, and we got a phone. We got a call, a 911 call, and plus a phone call from the precinct that there was shots fired at a location in our sector, and it was an off-duty police officer bringing his child to a community center. He got robbed at gunpoint for a jacket, a winter jacket. Bunch of thugs surround him, like 3 or 4 thugs surrounded him for his jacket, and he wound up getting into a gunfight with him, and they shot him right in his artery in his leg, in the femoral artery, and he was bleeding heavily. When we came to the scene, we applied pressure to the wound. He identified himself as a cop. We threw him in the back of our car, and we brought him to the hospital. I got to meet the mayor and the police commissioner that day. We saved his life. His name was Eddie Vera, V-E-R-A. Eddie Vera. If you Google that name, you'll see the story. And myself and my partner were the first officers on the scene, and we saved his life. He came back to the precinct, I think about 7 or 8 months later, and walked in with a cane. He was from the 8-8 precinct. I'll never forget it. And Eddie walked in from the 8-8 precinct and came in, and I didn't even know he was doing it. He came in and hugged me and thanked me for saving his life. And he wound up getting off the job on a disability pension, a retirement, because of his injuries. He couldn't come back to full duty. So he got out on a disability pension. But I'll never forget the day that he came back to thank me. So I did at one point, but it's, a federal career after a municipal career. Some people do it, but I chose not to, because my time with my family is more valuable than going on to work for the FBI, because you start working for the FBI and doing that type of work, and now it's very time consuming. My best friend was a Secret Service agent for 32 years, and he said, you know, I can't get those years back being away from my family. He was on the Clinton security team on Bill Clinton, so he was up at the Chappaqua Ranch, and I'm just enjoying my life with my family. My family and my sons and my wife are more important to me than, you know, I've done over 20 years in the toughest police department on the toughest streets of New York City. I choose to take the second half of my life and enjoy it with my family. My son is 22 and my oldest is 26, but he does engineering work, my 26-year-old, but they're both taking police tests and they're both on lists to become police. So I know my youngest wants that bad, but my oldest not as much. I don't push it on them, you know. I don't push it on them at all. So, and a lot of my kids' friends are cops too. The kids who I saw grow up as little boys are now police. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool actually. So guys, 81 minutes here on YouTube. I hope you guys all enjoyed the broadcast. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it now. If there's any more questions, I'm gonna take another 5 minutes of questions in the chat. You police? I am police. I am police, guys. I am police, and I do have my firearm with me. Yeah, I gotta enjoy life, Angela. If you guys haven't followed me already, follow me on YouTube here on this channel for the replay subscribers. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DutyRon. Also follow me on Snapchat, DutyRon52. My Snapchat is the same as here. And thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. My Snapchat is the same as YouTube, DutyRon52. Thanks, Ron. I need to go. I'm going too. I'm going, Marcy. Marcy, thank you for subscribing and thank you for being a friend here on YouTube. Look for more broadcasts from me in the future, and I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. Did you ever consider going into FBI? Sorry for repeating. No, I never did. I never seriously considered it. I have one, Ron. Have you had to deal with sovereign citizens? No. Let me explain something to you. Tanny, I know that you covered that with me. Is it Tanny? Tanny? I think it's Tanny. Tanny. Yeah, Tanny. You spelt it yesterday. Tanny, nobody pulled that crap in New York City on the New York City Police Department. You see that sovereign citizen bullshit out in the middle of the country. Kim, I'm not going off just yet, but if you're leaving, have a good night. And thank you for being a part of the program. There was no sovereign citizen bullshit back in the 90s when I was on patrol. It might be prevalent now, but we don't play that stuff. Here in the city, there's a municipal law within the 5 boroughs. It's called the Officer's Common Right to Inquiry. And here in the city, if you refuse to identify yourself, you'll be immediately taken into custody. You won't be free to leave. You won't be placed under arrest, but you're not going to be free to leave until we identify who you are through fingerprint. And now we have an iris scanner that we could scan your eyes. So there's an iris scanner and fingerprinting. I personally know some patrol cops, younger guys, within the last year or two, saying that they've had maybe 1 or 2 of those cases, and the person gets dragged into the precinct for 2 or 3 hours, and they could kick and scream and shout like little babies all they want, but they get handcuffed, brought into the precinct, and identified. Their identity gets. It's a municipal law here in New York City. It's called the Common Right to Inquiry. And if a police officer asks you for identification and you play that sovereign citizen game, it doesn't fly in any court here. So all the backyard lawyers can come out of the woodwork and type in the comments all the bullshit that they want to type in. But we didn't fuck with that. If somebody tries to pull that shit in New York City, it might work in bumfuck Idaho or wherever. And I'm only making that reference just to make the reference. Nothing against Idaho, but if you want to do that, in New York City, give it a try and see where it goes. You don't really, it doesn't really work well. The Occupy Wall Street people used to, when there was the Occupy Wall Street movement in 2012, they came into Zuccotti Park and camped out in Zuccotti Park. Well, they met the NYPD, and they used to put up signs like NYPD's tyrants, because we didn't put up with their shit. If they were doing something, they were summoned and arrested. And we had a police department where we could get 80 paddy wagons and cart off 500. I think we made in one day against those Occupy Wall Street people, and they were all from the Midwest, from California. None of them were from New York. A majority of them were from outside of the United States, outside of New York. We carted one night, I think, 800 arrests into Manhattan Central Booking. 800. We made 800 arrests on Occupy Wall Street in one night. And I think another time it was 1,200. So the NYPD had like 30 paddy wagons, big, huge paddy wagons where you could fit 50 people in them, and we were carting them off. It was just like a revolving door. It was unbelievable. I actually saw it happen with my own eyes. I saw it happening. So they would go into the crowd with a bullhorn. You are all trespassing. If you do not cease and desist immediately, you'll be placed under arrest. It was like you know who was there, Joe? It was Esposito was there doing it. And I walked with Esposito with the bullhorn. He would tell me what to say, and I would say it, and Joe would walk with me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna fan out. We'd have like a line of us, and we would go into him and form a wedge. And I had some great times with him at Zuccotti Park. It was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, he was no nonsense. And he was like, listen, we're going to go in there and we're locking each and every one. And they went in with the zip ties, and everybody was under. It was great. I wish I could stop these First Amendment auditors. It is what it is. Listen, I'm glad that I live in a state that doesn't tolerate that bullshit. And we have a police department that they know. They still try it. They still try to, go up to cops with recording them and trying to, but the NYPD they don't play that shit. They don't play that shit. So, good night, Angela. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for spending time with us. I'm going to end it now. 88 minutes. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, give me a thumbs up, please. I greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel. Check me out on Snapchat, DutyRon52, DutyRon on Instagram and Twitter. So, guys, good night. Remember, be good to each other. Check on your neighbors. Always extend a hand to people. Always do the right thing. Do unto others on what you would want done to you. Always be kind to each other. Treat people the same way you'd want to be treated in the same circumstances. And that's how I did it with the police department. I always treated people who I had to place under arrest the same way I'd want to be treated if, God forbid, I got arrested. So do the right thing and be kind to each other. Give back when you can. Always lend a helping hand. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. So peace and love from Duty Ron. Good night all, and God bless. God bless our men and women of law enforcement and our military. Thank you guys all for hanging out for 89 minutes. I greatly appreciate you guys.